Hi friends! I'm probably not lying if I say that for most people there are always very interesting stories, movies or TV series, with a plot where there is a protagonist, initially a small person who as a result achieves great success. Most often these are stories about provincials who conquered the metropolis and through thorns reached the stars. And this time my video will be dedicated to a man whose life path fits into the framework of the above story, wrestler Ilya Mate. Ilya Mate was born on October 6, 1956 in the picturesque village of Starognatovka in the Stalin region of the Ukrainian Soviet Republic, now Donetsk region. His father was Greek and his mother was Ukrainian. Both devoted their working life to agriculture, and the son could have followed in the footsteps of his parents, if not for a childhood hobby that turned his whole life upside down. Starognatovka and its surroundings in those times were famous for their strongmen. There was a special kind of wrestling, Kurish, very popular among the local population and attracted the attention of young spectators. It was at one of the Sunday competitions that Ilya Mate had a fateful meeting with his future coach and an incredibly talented man, Viktor Barota. Having got into the wrestling section, which thanks to Barota's efforts moved from a clean open-air field to the former building of the collective farm incubator, Mate began to progress quickly. Soon the future champion was beating not only his peers, but also his older comrades. The first great success came to Mate at the Soviet Union Youth Championship in 1974, where he won. But at the adult level the competitors were already much more serious. Ivan Yergin, a two-time Olympic champion, and Levin Tediashvili, also a two-time Olympic champion. Such rivals were not easy to deal with, so at the debut Soviet Union Championship in 1976 Ilya was only fourth. However, by 1978 Mate gained strength and experience and defeated Yergin, thus changing the balance of power in his weight category. Thus Ilya found himself in the national team of the Soviet Union. The debut European Championship was a victory for the young Soviet wrestler, and the 1979 World Championship made the whole world call him a man with iron hands and a living machine. All that matters is that Mate in the final part of the tournament defeated the American Russell Hallockson, silver medalist of the 1976 Montreal Games, in his homeland. The Soviet wrestler held back his opponent's pressure in spite of injury and acute pain, which made an indelible impression on everyone present. The gold medal won at that tournament made Mate one of the main favorites in his weight class for the world press, but not for the Soviet leadership. He still had to fight for the right to compete at the home Olympics. Ilya fought with Levin Tediashvili at the qualifiers, and their fight was extremely dramatic. The meeting was stubborn and principled and ended with the score 4-4. But there could not be a draw. The victory was awarded to Mate, as he was the first to open the score. Now it was just a matter of not letting the Soviet team down at the 1980 Olympic Games in Moscow. They say that walls help at home. Often this rule really works in sports, and Mate, playing in his homeland, the Soviet Union, was clearly in no mood to lose. Besides, his father was sitting in the stands, in front of whom it was impossible to make a mess of things. The boycott of the Moscow Olympics by a number of countries weakened the competition, but still there were no weak opponents at the Olympics. Mate was unstoppable. Twice he extinguished his opponents. The meeting with the rising Bulgarian star Ilya Chervenkov won by points, and in the final part the Soviet wrestler defeated the strong Czechoslovak Stranisko for a clear advantage. In front of his native father and the whole country for the first time in the history of the Soviet Union, rural athlete Ilya Mate became an Olympic champion in freestyle wrestling. The next year at the World Championships Mate became only a bronze medalist, but in 1982 he rehabilitated himself and again rose to the top step of the podium at the World Championships. After the end of his athletic career, Ilya Mate withdrew from sports and devoted his life to other pursuits. Despite the fact that against the background of many other famous Soviet athletes Mate does not have a large number of titles, his story of a simple guy from the village, who achieved world fame and recognition through his hard work and perseverance, must be preserved for future generations, who also have a chance to become great champions not only in sports, but also in other areas of our large and diverse life.